Welcome to my first weekly update for YouTube. And what I'm going to do today is go through my portfolio performance over the last week. Not going into a lot of detail. I did a post the other day on some of the stocks that I considered last week, and some I bought, some I sold, some added to the watch list, and some of the ideas behind there and why I've done those particular actions. So have a look at them. What I will do as well is I'll briefly touch on the crypto market. And obviously there's some activity happening at the moment. There's a correction happening. So I'll go into that in a little bit of detail. And I'll also just kind of give you an understanding of where I have allocated particular resources in the portfolio at the moment, and how I'm sort of thinking about first of all the cryptocurrency correction, but also my thoughts on the stock market. So what I'll do is I'll jump into the view of my account, and I'll kind of run through some bits and pieces there. I would absolutely encourage anyone to comment on the video, and also to comment on my eToro page to suggest any improvements or anything that you want to see more of. Again, I don't know exactly what people want, so I'm just going to go out this and take it from there. But anyways, I'll jump in. I will share my screen. And what we've got here, and just the basic view of my account. So really, like, what I'll do is I'll quickly run through an overview. Our time of writing. So we've lost a little bit, but it was 11% month gain to date. There's been pretty good start to the month in cryptocurrency. You'll have seen many of the altcoins like Litecoin, EOS, Tezos, you name it. Basically, there's been a strong start to the month. And I think, over the last 2 days, we've seen a correction in the market, which is completely normal and completely expected as well. We can't expect things to go up consistently for days on end without any sort of pullback or any sell-off in the market. The good things I will speak about is I'm into my 7th month now of being in the green. I'd love to be able to say I hit double digits again this month, but look, we need to ensure that capital is protected and that we've risk mitigated for my copiers in particular, and also myself. So another thing that I value very deeply is the profitability of my copiers. Since really ramping up that since January, about 87% copier profitability, which is pretty strong, to be honest. Obviously I want to get it as high as possible. And I can't control the activity of copiers when they do copy me. Some people close out accounts, some people don't have a cash balance like I suggest, and that's completely fine. I can only do as best as I can with the people who copy me. I'm still blocked, by the way, until the start of next month. However, I also am due to upgrade to the champion level popular investor course. So with that, hopefully I can leverage them to get me to be allowed to be copied again. Because I certainly have a lot of people asking for that. And obviously I want to be able to support them as best as I can. Just to quickly look at the stats, I've touched on this briefly. We're currently 82% up year to date, coming in off a strong 2020, obviously at 189%. Like, as many people know today, my current strategy evolves very much around crypto, but also in terms of how I balance that out in the ETFs market and also in the equities market. I'll give you a quick overview then of what my portfolio looks like and what my plans are. We're still at 5 in terms of risk, which, to be honest, I really don't want to have to go above, because if I hit 7 again, bang, I'm closed off. eToro will stop me again. But anyways, look, we need to have a certain amount of risk to be able to understand the gains. As I said before, I'm perfectly happy with the risk. But it's not for everyone, and certainly not in eToro's interest to promote heavy or high risk activity. So I try to mitigate that as much as possible. Looking at my portfolio, I'm not going to go through everything in grave detail. What I would point to at the moment is if I take a look at the allocation, we've got about 43% of our portfolio in cash at the moment. Reason being is that I took some profits yesterday as the market corrected. What this meant was that, to realize profits when profits are there to be taken. I felt the market was getting a bit frothy. People were, everyone was jumping in, and there was a lot being said about it. So usually in those cases, when it seems a bit too good to be true, it usually is, and it's usually time to take profits before the market does take a dip. We noticed a good dip yesterday, 20% in a lot of cases with a lot of the coins. That's very, very normal, particularly in bull cycles. I think it's healthy, first of all. But what it does, it allows, people like myself or other investors to, take a step back and wait for the market to correct, wait for the market to bottom out, and then I've got, 44% of it mentioned of a cash balance to purchase positions when it does eventually, stabilize. You'll see when I go into the allocation of risk, I have most of my positions still open. So to be honest, it's really just taking off some exposure. I never mind taking a small loss. A small loss is better than a big loss. Let's be honest here. So with the risk, this is just a basic overview of how my assets are broken out. As you can imagine, my top assets, top exposure is cryptocurrency, and no surprises there. I have balanced out with some growth and some small growth stocks like Fiverr, like Neo, Lemonade, Alibaba, but I've also got some growth stocks in there too to balance out, and also ETFs. So if I look at the exposure, it's mainly crypto. This is usually about 65%. As mentioned, I've taken some off the table at the moment in cash. Stocks, quickly look in here, you get an idea of the stocks where I'm looking at, and mainly growth, mainly value stocks. Automotive, I've got some European, I've got some UK stocks in there to balance out my overall exposure. One of my strategies is to move away from just having tech UK or US stocks exposed to. I think the NASDAQ stocks in particular at the moment is going through a little bit of a funny period. So I think, to mitigate risk, just to take a little bit of exposure away from there. But we will always look and, reallocate as we kind of go about it. Just a quick look at my chart. There's nothing really too many surprises here. People like to compare themselves versus the S&P or for the NASDAQ. I trade crypto as well, so I think it paints a bit of a better picture for me. I'm not a particular one size or one type of a trader. I will balance my crypto activity with my equities activity. What that allows for me is to gain decent exposure to the markets that allow, decent enough gains and medium risk, for my portfolio. So yeah, that's really it for the week. As I mentioned, have a read through my update on stocks and give you some idea there. I will do a video like this again at the end of this week, hopefully, where I'll run through some of my thoughts on my activities of my profile and my portfolio. And yeah, I'd love to take on any questions, in the comment section. Let me know what you want to see. I can speak away happily on anything that involves my profile and my choice behind my stock, my choice behind my cryptos. Just let me know. I'm happy to go through it in a bit more detail. But anyways, thank you guys, and please subscribe to my channel. Actually, by the way, I'm going to ask you while I'm here. And if you want to see more content like this, please give it a like. And yeah, I will be in touch in a few days. Just one more quickly thing before I go as well. I will be doing another series of videos where I am going to do videos on some of the FAQs that I've been receiving. I've written some posts on them in the past, but I'm also going to replicate that on video too. So hopefully that will bring some value and it'll answer some of the questions that you might have. But otherwise, thank you very much and have a great week. Bye-bye.